This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IP Livecast. Patreon bonus. We're talking about George W. Bush on today's show. He's just a cuddly old guy who paints, like Bob Ross. Why are you guys always so mean? Unrelated, anyone have a number for the UN? I think I spotted some WMDs under Rob Putin. While we get that sorted out, our IP Livecast starts now.
It's not quite a Patreon bonus. It's the regular show.
Did
Relax,
she say she
Shannon.
spotted WMDs under your Putin?
My Putin.
Oh, all right. Darren, you heard it.
You're here, Darren.
Oh, I don't have the option to unmute myself anymore. Is
I
that
unmuted
new?
you.
Okay.
Rob has all the power.
What's going on? Sid, do you have the power to unmute yourself?
I think
or is it
so.
just me?
I think
I
so.
think it's because I muted you, so I unmuted you.
Oh,
Welcome
I see.
to RIP Livecast. It is August 20th. August is almost over. There's only, 11 more days in August? 10 more days? 10 more days. 11? 11. 10? 11.
Are you bargaining with
11.
yourself on how
There's
many
11.
days?
Wow.
Wow.
And we're glad you could spend a little bit of time with us on RIP Livecast. We're live Saturdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And, of course, available wherever podcasts are downloaded.
By the way, Shannon, please don't call the UN because if Rob does have WMDs under there, I'm going to get arrested.
I
I'll
also want to point, I haven't had a footin' in like 7 years. So that's, the joke's a little dated, Shannon. Much like any sort of WMD or terrorist humor.
I mean, we are digging up the
Get
world's
with the
biggest-
now, Shannon.
We're going to talk about the world's biggest terrorist today. So I think it's relevant.
They're
And that would
building a
be who,
statue
just to be
for him
clear.
at the Little League World Series. Did you hear about that?
Oh,
We're talking about George W. Bush.
Because
right.
he's the first president to play Little League baseball.
Should have stayed doing
He's
that.
doing it now, which is crazy. It doesn't seem fair.
You know, every
this-
time.
Well, if trans women can play women's sports, then trans youth could play Little League. That's his defense. I don't know.
You know what makes me sick in relation to this topic is every time some politician goes to a baseball game and they throw out the first pitch or something, they all go, do you remember in 2001 after 9/11 when George W. Bush threw a perfect strike? And either one of two things is added to that. They go, what a great president if it's a Republican, or if it's a Democrat, they go, I don't agree with him on many topics. But it was such an inspiring moment that he threw a perfect strike down the middle at Yankee Stadium. I'm like, fuck it. Like, because he threw a perfect strike. He's not a war criminal. Like, well, who the fuck cares? Like, why?
Now, let me ask you
obsessed
something, Darren. Is it
Yeah.
because it was at Yankee Stadium? Like if it was at Citi Field or Shea Stadium at the time?
That
Would
did
you be
no,
okay with
no, absolutely not. I would say
No, I agree.
I would
know.
say it added one pebble of shit to a giant shit pile. Yes, it is. It is fundamentally worse that it was at Yankee Stadium, but it's a tiny consideration compared to who this person is.
Yeah.
And I think if it was at Shea Stadium at the time or Citi Field now, I think he would have been booed off of the mound, honestly, or at least
And
a
the thing
significant portion of the crowd would have booed at least.
I feel like also what's overlooked and almost forgotten is he is the unchosen one. He was not elected to
Right.
be president. The people did not choose
Well,
him.
the second time.
The second time, yes. Fair. But I mean,
So
look
we
at
had
the
a
other
chance to
option.
correct our mistake, and we instead mistaked even harder.
Well, if you look at his first, like, whatever it was, 8 months before 9/11 happened, he was like as unpopular as Joe Biden and Trump. Like he was he was like the most disputed president in history. People hated this fucking guy, and then 9/11 happened, and we have to rally behind the president.
Yeah, you're not patriotic if you don't support every single thing.
Oh, it was
Pretty
so
dope.
bad to live through that. We were doing our college radio show at that time, and it was horrifying to live through. It was something I never experienced before in life. where everyone had this group think. Like you always had squabbles politically and shit like that. Like, you would see, but there was nobody willing to debate anything on terms of politics.
Yeah,
Like,
there was very little dissent at the time. Dissent was very much hushed down, I felt, and it felt like you were a crazy person. It's funny, a lot of those feelings came back up when I was seeing Rage Against the Machine, because I feel their third album came out around the time of all the political unrest, and I just remember like it made me remember all of these little Bush moments and how much I hated him. Shifty Shortcake in the chat says, so Trump was right, they should have stopped the count, but in 2000.
No, it's the opposite. They did
Yeah,
stop the count.
that's the
why he
problem.
Yeah.
won. They stopped
Yeah,
the
if
count.
they actually kept the count going, he would have lost.
Yeah, in
They
fact,
used every trick in the book.
well, one of the tricks was Al Gore not suing to become the president. That was
Yeah.
not that I'm some huge Al fucking Gore fan, but I mean, he did legitimately win the election.
Well, and to be clear, what happened was a bunch of conservative protesters stormed into the counting rooms and forced the stop of the count. It was insane.
Yeah, it was like
Can
modern
you
day
imagine that happening today? Yes, I can
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
Yes,
modern
I
day
can.
Nazis.
I can't imagine it happening, but I can't imagine it not being as underreported as it was back then. I feel
Well,
like,
also, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
and also like you were saying, Gore didn't fight. I feel like the public vibe was, Gore, you shouldn't fight, just let it go.
It's
like-
uncouth. Yeah, it's not.
yeah, like
Well,
don't-
that
don't-
and just the coverage
don't be
was so
rude.
exhausting. I think everybody just wanted it to end one way. Like at that point, it was just like, whatever, just somebody,
yes,
please,
yes,
enough.
agreed.
And that's partly because these two guys were so fucking close to identical.
People viewed them as, I mean, right or wrong, people view them as basically two sides of the same coin. So like, what
Mhm.
is going to be some white guy who
Yeah.
we know from the past few years anyway, whatever.
Well, that's another good point. That's kind of similar to 2016 because it could have solved this problem by just running somebody good, and they would have plowed both Bush and Trump into the ocean. I don't think there would have even been a close enough an election to steal.
Who would have run in 2000 if not Gore? I felt like Gore seemed like the sure bet just
And
because,
especially like that's just how it works. The vice president of a two-termer, that's his turn.
yeah, except for Biden.
Except for Cheney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
By
But he
the
was
way,
basically the president for those two terms anyway. So
I gotta stay away from watching politics on television because Dick Cheney now, the last couple
Oh
of
my
weeks,
God.
was going around on these news shows with his frozen face.
I keep
From a-
forgetting he's still alive because
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
is he still? He's like on his fourth heart by now.
Shooting
isn't he?
his friends and eating all the blood from their organs. That's how he's alive. He's like, we need to stop Donald Trump from running. He's the worst piece of shit ever. He's tried to steal an election. I'm like, I'm pointing, screaming at the you literally stole an election. You just did it right.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
Are you just
Well,
mad
who
at him
better
for-
who better to know? Who better to go
Yeah.
to for such advice?
I mean, what did Trump really do? He's fucking lost. He tweeted some shit at his dumbass followers, and then he was like, I really won. I won. I'm going to sue. He did an impotent lawsuit. He gave up after like 5 minutes of a lawsuit, and then he went to play fucking golf and hosted a dumbass boxing pay-per-view. Like, you literally succeeded in doing what you're accusing him of doing. Shut up. And your daughter, too.
Well,
he just enrages
she's
me.
peace out now anyway. She lost her primary.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's
She's
better
not going
for her.
anywhere, yeah.
She's the one that's good. She's gonna like run as a.
She's gonna get the Democratic nomination for president in 2024.
What?
So let's have it.
Well,
Well,
like, somebody
that
was
is
saying
the
that she'd be
rumor.
Pence's
Well-
VP if he runs, but like
I don't
they'll
know
get
what's
zero
so funny
votes.
to-
Like
Yeah, I don't know.
and-
She's totally unlikable as a Republican, but I feel
Yeah.
like a bunch of centrist Democrats. I saw like a ton of tweets from centrist Democrats, like, you have to hand it to her. She's brave. She stood up
well,
when
it's
no
the
other
same thing
Republican
that they did
would.
when fucking Mitt Romney spoke up. They do that, but like,
Right.
so
Yeah, she
It
And
doesn't
it's
just
like
tweet. It
she
doesn't mean
spoke up
anything.
because she knew there's no chance she's getting her fucking seat back. She voted with
Right.
Trump.
Well,
like
that's why
92% of
she's
the
not
time.
getting her seat back
and also she
No,
voted
she wasn't
with.
getting it back beforehand. Before
She
that.
voted
before
with-
she went against Trump.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Why? She won by
She
a
was already-
landslide last time.
but
The
she
only
was
reason
already.
she lost is because she voted to impeach
Oh,
Trump.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm saying like it had nothing to do with the hearings. She was already losing.
Oh yeah, Yeah, but that was all. It was all a career move for her. She miscalculated. I think what she thought was once Trump loses, the Republican Party is going to swing back, and the only Republicans that are going to have any sway are the ones that were against Trump all along, and I'll be at the front of that. And then, nope, he lost, but they're still all on his side. So now you're the bigger enemy than the Democrats. So she made a career choice, and it was the wrong one for her.
And that's if I don't want to say, I'm going to say, like, that's one thing I do respect about Republicans. It's like, hey,
I know
you're out. That's it. You're going against us. You're out. You're gone.
They're for shitty things, but their tactics are correct.
Yes. Thank you, Darren. Exactly.
But she also voted with Trump like 95% of the time. Or something.
She's just slightly less crazy than Trump. She believes in virtually all the things he does.
She went on television in front of cameras, knowing the cameras were on her, and said abortion is literally killing babies. This is who Democrats want to run for their presidential ticket.
What?
A woman who said,
"Wait, what? What Democrats want that to run?"
Nobody
for
wants it.
I read a lot of online people. I think there's like a ground.
There are Democrats that are saying they want.
No, I don't think they're
Democrats.
Democrats. I think there are leftists saying that Democrats.
I literally see
I have not seen
centrist liberals saying that they would love for her to run for president. I don't know
as
that
a
anyone
Democrat or against Trump.
As a Republican would be great.
As a Democrat, I don't know that these are people who have any sway in the actual party, but I think there's a large online contingent of people saying they wish that she would run as a Democrat. I read a lot of online shit.
Okay, I can't wrap my brain around that.
These are smart people.
No, I mean, I'm not making that claim. That's for sure.
How many random numbers are in their Twitter names?
Oh, these are Putin
as
bots.
many as will fit.
Yeah.
So we're talking all about this because now Masterclass has launched a new class with G-Dubs himself.
He's the dunce of the class.
Tough calls and life lessons. Now, I feel like, there's a lot of rose-tinted memories of George W. Bush.
You think?
The man was constantly mocked for not being able to say basic words. He was like, I feel like the press line on him was always like, the reason he's so likable is Americans could see him as someone you could have a beer with. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, maybe for like 5 minutes until you realize like, wow, I can't talk about anything with this fucking idiot because he's a moron.
Well, most Americans are also fucking idiots, so they totally relate on that level. Come on.
But think about this though. All right, let's do this as a thought experiment. Think of the last time you had a beer with people. Do you want that person running the country? Does the average person you have a beer with seem like a good presidential material?
Better than
it's very stupid reasoning.
Yeah, but yes, I get what you're saying.
And makes him marketable. And also, like, people want someone in charge of things who they think is dumber than them because they like to complain about stuff.
And I love so Masterclass, to me, the vibe I get from Masterclass is it's like a hoity-toity cameo.
Yes, 1,000%. It's just
but
famous people who want supplemental income.
Right.
Yeah, and instead of
cameo for people, but you can't tell the person what to say, which is the benefit.
Right, and that's the thing. Yeah. It's not personalized because
it's way longer.
The person has way more of a life to sit there and do the cameos. So it's just you got one shot with me and charge as much as you can for like me talking for an hour.
How has Dave Mustaine not done this yet? It seems like this is way more up his alley than cameo.
I could teach anyone to play guitar in 45 minutes.
It's just him ripping through all of his solos with zero explanation.
If you can't do this, you suck.
Yeah.
Rob, I got to ask you a question about Masterclass because I'm not 100% familiar with Masterclass. Is it like interactive or do you just watch a video of them?
You essentially watch a video, and then there are like supplemental files you can download. So, and originally Masterclass started with, a composer teaching you how to compose a film score, and then you could download the files that he's using in the demo to see how he works and learn more. And then, like a film director shows you how to edit, Steven Spielberg shows you the way to edit and blah, blah, blah. But then they just kept getting greedier, for lack of a better term. And now it's just like it's really like a premium TED Talk actually now, more so.
I'm going to show you how to kill 500,000 Iraqis.
Well, so it's so funny that George W. Bush's masterclass is called Tough Calls and Life Lessons, because when I hear this, my mind immediately flashes to the photo on September 11th of the aide coming to Bush to tell him
while
that
he's
the
reading to the
planes,
children,
while he's reading to the children, and just his like blank look. And I don't know if you recall, but the tough call that he made in that moment was to keep fucking reading to kids while the nation is being attacked.
Well, you don't want to put the kids into a panic. You got to have a strong front.
Well, you could just step out of the room and don't have to tell them a plane just slammed into.
You don't want to leave them hanging. They need to know what happens to the goat.
Yeah,
look,
they need to know what happens to the goat.
You raise a solid point, Sid.
I mean,
the goat gets blown up. That's the sad part.
He was in the plane.
What would have to happen for George W. Bush to interrupt a completely trivial public appearance and go do his fucking job, if not his nation being attacked?
Super Bowl party?
Yeah. Mr. President, there's some brush on your property that you have to clear immediately.
The wind, we cleared it earlier, but then the wind blew it back, so you have to go.
They shall not stand.
Dusty Rose Muffler with a good question. Does the band Bush have a masterclass?
Actually, it says, does the band Bush say?
You're right. It does.
Is there a band named Band Bush, Sid?
I would hope so, but it would be BANNED.
Oh, Band Bush. Oh, can we get both the president and the band Bush band?
Yes. I'll start the change.org petition. Rob, I need to just ask one quick question. This has been bugging me since the show started. It's a complete diversion from what we're talking about, but it'll be quick. We to peek behind the curtains, we recorded a Patreon episode yesterday. Have you not changed shirts since we recorded that episode? Because I recall you were wearing that same Nine Inch Nails shirt.
What is your definition of you had not changed shirts? That would imply that I've been wearing this shirt for 24 hours. Which
have you showered? Did you shower and then put the same shirt back on?
No. I have not showered yet.
He has 40 of the same Nine Inch Nails shirts, just like Run DMC. They always wear the same.
Or Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Is this like a subtle live read where Nine Inch Nails is paying you to wear their merch on all the episodes?
I'm endorsed by Nine Inch Nails now.
Yeah,
yes.
Also, all the shirts have to have the same mustard stain in the exact same spot.
There are no mustard stains on this shirt.
You're wearing a white shirt, buddy. Be careful, you jinx yourself.
I avoid wearing the shirt when I know I'm going to be a messy.
I usually don't wear white shirts, but not because of partially, I guess the mess factors in, but I also feel like it adds like 15 pounds to me. I look way better with like dark colors on.
I typically only wear dark shirts because the white shirts I sweat a lot, and then it's just instant like yellow pit stains by the third time you're wearing the shirt. Just a waste of money.
Those are real WMDs.
Oh my god.
Pit stains.
All right, back to Masterclass. I just need to.
I was trying to segue it back to George Bush.
So the description of the episode is: step inside the Oval Office with the newest instructor in our White House series, President George W. Bush.
Who else is in this White House series?
Oh, well, I think they have one from Obama. They have one from Clinton.
Socks the cat.
Both Clintons, I believe, have.
Yeah, I actually saw snippets of the Hillary Clinton. Didn't she complain? Like, didn't she talk some shit on Bernie Sanders in one of those?
Probably.
That may have been something else, but I think in her masterclass she had some like.
Oh no, I think that was in like her Hulu series. She'll fucking take anybody.
For sure, she did that, but I thought she also in the masterclass took a shot. Maybe I'm wrong.
Does Bernie have a master class? Was she just like big time in him? Like,
this is a master class where I will be rebutting everything that Hillary Clinton said in her master class. No, he would never do that. He would take it on the chin and just be like, Hillary Clinton is a great person. And I'm very happy to have campaigned for her. If only she would have won, this country would be a much better place. He's just the biggest cuck. I love him. He has an admirable career, noble career. I think he did a lot of good for a lot of people, but he fucking sucks at politics. Let's just say it. He sucks at politics. He's great at caring for people and having a big heart. Just stop running. I
think at this point, yeah.
Right. I think I don't agree with you. I think he will. I think ill-advisedly, but I think he's going to run again. And
I mean, if not, who would you want to fill that spot in 2024?
I mean, of the available choices, nobody. Nobody who can win. I don't want anyone who could. I don't think anyone who could win shouldn't run. Anyone who could win should not run. I don't give a shit about anything.
Just wait until 28.
I mean, I wouldn't say wait. I think we have to like completely overhaul the shitty system that we have. But I don't think
hold on. Just so I understand, you're saying anybody that could win.
I don't support
anybody. Run?
That was very badly phrased. Let me try again. I don't support anyone who could conceivably win. They're gonna run. I can't stop them from doing that. But I would not support anyone.
Okay, but who should win?
I'm saying what I was asking you was like, okay, so Bernie was the guy, but he failed. Who's the next guy?
Nobody.
Nobody. So that person doesn't exist, Kurt.
That person doesn't exist.
I would say
So Rob, the person who should be the president and could feasibly win a primary to run for president does not exist.
Okay. Yeah,
there are people who I would say I would support for president, but they're like not even in politics. So like, what's the point? They're never going to
like
run.
Who?
Gary Cohen announced.
I like the guy that ran for. Why am I? Oh my god, I'm blanking on his name now. The guy that ran
is too damn high.
Him. Yes, he'd be a better president. Didn't he have a Me Too scandal or something?
I don't remember that, but sure, probably.
Come on, Jimmy McMullen.
The guy that ran for VP as the Green Party candidate. That guy's fucking awesome. I like Nina Turner. I would love if she would have run for president, but she'll never get through the primary. They'll just Bernie her. And she'll quit and support whatever Democrat wins because she's now in the Democratic Party. So nobody. There's just nobody that I would support that could win. I think it's just we're too close to the 2024 election where it matters. Jesse Ventura, he's got a lot of weird libertarian ideas. I like him, but he's got a lot. If he was president, you'd have like fucking Medicare for all and lots of good stuff over here, and then lots of weird like grift for corporations and shit, and like lifting of restrictions on polluters and all that crap. So I don't think
we need Medicare for all because we'd all have lung cancer.
What is that, Rob? Look up the guy's name that was the vice president for that guy's fucking awesome. The Green Party vice presidential candidate in 2020. Jill Stein, I think would be fucking awesome.
Ajamu Baraka?
Yeah, that's why I couldn't pull that up in my brain.
Rolls
He's
off
really
the
good.
tongue.
I think it's Ajamu Baraka.
Ajamu. And Mike Francesa, of course.
Yeah, I would run screaming from this country if Mike Francesa won. It would be great for memes, but I'd be watching it from like Lithuania.
The press conferences.
Yeah.
Would he insist everybody just call in and not be in person to lob the questions at him? So you'd have somebody just dial in the calls.
That's a dumb idea. Okay, you wait in the press reporter's box for an hour and a half waiting to ask a question. That's what you come up with. You're a fool. All right.
Back after
this drone strike.
Chris Russo would get a spot on MSNBC to be like the counterpoint. It'd be a whole thing.
Yeah, I would actually love Nina Turner to run for president, but I don't. She'd never get through the primary, like we said. They just Bernie her.
So let's see some of this Masterclass trailer.
Oh no.
You might have to hear George W. Bush talk.
I think we probably will. Oh no!
This cinematic shot.
During an application, I recognize very few people watching this will become president, but I think you'll find lessons in leadership that will apply to your life.
Ooh, he's slurring really bad.
I'm so good. Is he in the White House?
He's
Like,
in a
you let him in?
mock-up like
Yeah, it might be like
studio.
Because, like, probably in his like presidential library, they have like a fake Oval Office. So that's probably what this is.
Oh, that's weird.
Maybe he did a coup.
But
He did it
I
in
think
2000.
No, this was on January 6th. He just snuck into the Oval Office
Yeah.
while everybody else was.
Well, Biden was getting his daily enema and fucking being fed peaches in the corner. He didn't even know what
Biden
was
wasn't
going
at
on.
the Oval Office yet. It was still Trump's at that point.
Oh, what? Oh, I thought you meant
January
like they did-
6th.
I thought you meant. Oh, I didn't hear that part.
That was the storming the Capitol was just a diversion, so Bush could sneak into the Oval Office before this masterclass.
There was just 400
Imagine.
people with fucking boom mics and shit.
January 6th was an inside job. This time it's really true. Bush did do it.
That's why the cops let them in through the gates. They were like really key grips and shit. We got to film this. We got 45 minutes. Let's go, people.
Dusty Rhodes Buffler says Biden was in a wheelchair ringing a bell like Hector Salamanca. I like the reference.
No. But he loves Bush. He would let that.
Draker Daddy, Thor Shredstein for president.
No, he'd be
I don't
extreme
think-
right wing MAGA.
I mean, we had
Yeah.
that for 4 years.
Yeah, we already had that. Yeah, too many skeletons in that closet.
build the wall.
I think you'll find lessons in leadership that will apply to you.
Lessons. What is he drinking there?
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh my God,
Lock
Madeline
them all up.
Albright.
Lock
Wow.
everybody up in that photo right there.
What nightmare blunt rotation right here.
Let's see.
Like,
You got
geez.
3 war criminals, a woman who murdered a guy, 4 war criminals, and 1 woman who murdered a guy drunk driving.
How
Oh,
does
did
Bill
Ira
Clinton
Bush do
look
that?
the worst
Yep.
of the 5 of these people? He looks like a skeleton.
Who?
Bill
don't know.
Clinton. He
In
looks
that
by
photo,
far the
I-
worst.
You
I
know
think it
what it
looks
is? It's because he
great.
lost a lot of weight. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gone vegan.
That's
I
like
think,
the
yeah.
best photo he's taken in 20 years. But I agree with you, Sid. In real life, he
in
looks
real
like a
life.
skeleton.
IRL. Yeah, very old.
This is a
He's
very,
very frail.
retouched photo. But he did a master class? Like he can barely talk.
As
How the
president,
fuck- Oh, they-
sometimes I
they keep getting
Condoleezza was
worse.
cut out of the vein shot. Racism
Ah.
in the masterclass.
Oh my goodness.
Also, is it me or does Madeline Albright look like she farted right as that picture was taken?
she
She
has
just
loose
always looks
diarrhea at the moment.
Oh, did she drop a shart like a drone on a fucking Yemeni hospital?
president, sometimes I had information that the American people didn't know, and therefore I had
Oh,
to make
yeah.
decisions what was best for the country on knowledge.
Yeah, like you knew
Sometimes I had information
Osama
we
was.
made up.
He
Yeah.
had information that Osama was going to attack inside the United States at very tall buildings, and he had,
Oh,
he had
yeah.
that information 2 months in advance.
Yeah,
What he
made a
really
tough
means,
call
though, is
not to
he
do
knew when
anything about
Sammy Sosa was going to sit out of a game because of a sore back in advance.
That was criminal. Criminal. He's not a sovereign nation. Sammy Sosa is not a sovereign nation.
That wasn't evident. That's
We had
just the
to,
nature
we had
of
to,
leadership.
Rob. We had to
So
invade.
long
we had to
as
invade the dugout to get that cork bat.
I love how this bust of
Guided by
Abraham Lincoln,
principle.
he's like averting his eyes. Even he's embarrassed to be in
He's
this.
embarrassed. Yeah, he definitely looks so embarrassed.
What a terrible bust that is. He looks like Mozart or something. What the fuck was that? Or Beethoven. He looked like Beethoven. He looks like he smelled a fart right there.
He looks very special needs in this photo.
I
which is
smell
like-
something in this room. I have a very trained nose. It smells like sarin gas. We need to invade the soundstage.
Just the nature of leadership. So long as you're guided by principle, and so long as you're guided by a cause greater than self, you can endure criticism because it's going to come. One of the things I missed
He says he's guided by principle. Yeah,
Oh.
like the principle to kill 1 million innocent
Profit.
fucking Iraqis. Yeah.
The principle to enrich Halliburton for
Yeah,
Dick
yeah.
Cheney's stock portfolio.
after the presidency was
Oh.
just daily learning, and thankfully
Oh.
painting came in.
Oh, no.
Oh,
It's
the
a learning
painting!
experience because with every paint stroke you learn something new.
Of
All right, I'm
course
gonna
they
do
had a-
another flower.
These
It's
look like.
Oh,
important to
no.
have a set of products.
I'm gonna do another flower. Can you
Painting
imagine?
To me, the painting to me is so offensive. It's like this fucking war
How
criminal.
dare you have a hobby?
How dare you have like peace and quiet in your life? I like this.
He's a
this
wealthy
moment of
person. That's all he's
meditation.
ever going to have.
It's
He should
it's
be
like he should be in a
Painting
fucking
with
Hague.
his own sweat, wearing an orange jumpsuit in a lockup in international court, waiting for trial. It's really true, Rob, what you said. Like every second of this doesn't even matter what he says. It doesn't matter what he does. Just the fact that he's allowed to talk without manacles on his limbs is just an indictment of our entire planet society.
And what else bothers me is I feel like our viewpoint, like what you and I are saying right now, Dan, it is considered in mainstream culture a extreme viewpoint.
Not just extreme, it's off the chart. It's not even like a negative opinion you're allowed to say. I feel like it's in
I think
exactly.
it's not that it's extreme or you're not allowed to say it. It's just that it's so hilariously out of the realm of possibility from the world we live in that like
Better
why even it seems not even worth saying.
Better way to say it is, I agree, Sid, is that it's, I shouldn't say allowed because that sounds like that Republican First Amendment argument. I don't mean that. I mean, we're sitting here saying it. No one's going to lock us up. It's just that you're considered a kook.
Yeah, like an adult believing in Santa Claus.
Right. Exactly.
And that's just indicative of the cynicism of the whole thing because we know like that there was never a chance he was going to face consequences. He obviously should, but it was never going to happen.
And I also want to say something. We have a lot of youngish viewers, and this is already it's the 20th anniversary coming up. If you didn't live through this is not a retroactive awareness. There was like million-person marches in every city saying in real time, this is a fucking horrendous genocide that you're about to do.
A lot of people didn't want to do it. Yeah,
Rob, I worked in Times Square at that time that this was going on. I couldn't get to work on for a straight week because I would get off the train and it was just mobs and mobs and mobs of people behind barricades protesting this shit. It was well known before they launched a single bomb that this was wrong what they were about to do.
And it accomplished as much as the Women's March has accomplished in 2020.
Yeah.
Basically. We protested a war that ended up killing millions. We protested a president who ended up enabling Roe versus Wade being overturned. So what did those protests really do other than give people a fun day out?
They were safe protests. You know what really scares people is when you do like Occupy Wall Street or you do like that's when they send the feds in, the fucking cracked skulls, or like the George Floyd protests really started scaring the shit out of people.
But even still, those didn't really accomplish much either.
Because they got squashed.
Yeah.
Because the cops turned up the heat and they came in with the fucking riot gear and shit and started breaking. You saw all those videos that happened.
And Obama called LeBron and it was all over. It was all over. After
for the NBA strike. That was the...
Yeah. And I thought it was the other way around. I thought LeBron called Obama.
Oh, was it?
What's the difference?
For advice.
I mean, which way it went? Does it really matter? Obama came in and put the shutdown.
He just wanted to see basketball.
Yeah, I'm sure that was
so did I.
Yeah.
I love the WNBA. I'm fine with that.
Well, the Chicago Sky did win the championship last year, so he's probably very happy about that.
We do need to imagine if there was an alternate universe, like kind leftist Obama. It's like, you guys go on strike. I support you. I'll just watch the G League. Perfectly fine. Fine with me.
That's a fate worse than death.
What is the Nick Westchester Knicks or something? What is the G League for the local teams?
I think the Long Island Nets is the Brooklyn
Long Island
Nets
one.
Right.
They play in the Nassau Coliseum, right?
I don't remember where they play. Yeah, you're right. Westchester Knicks.
Imagine. It's like I go to the Westbury Music Fair to see a basketball game.
Why not? They probably have a better win percentage than the actual Knicks.
I'd rather go look for WMDs in Iraq than do that.
The Long Island Nets have a really nice logo, actually.
Oh, let's see it.
Put it up on the...
How do we get from George W. Bush Masterclass to
we'll get back
minor league basketball?
Because of Obama. Fucking Obama.
Oh,
that's the Nets. That's the Nets. Oh, I didn't understand
That's
this.
the old school.
That's the Nets when they actually played in Long Island when they were the real Nets.
Oh, I see.
So they repurposed it. But they were called the New York Nets, not the Long Island. That was when Dr. J was there.
Love it. All right, let's see the rest of this. G-Dub's Masterclass.
The chief executive has got information that the American people didn't know, and therefore had to make decisions what was best for the country on knowledge that wasn't evident. That's just
Whatever
the nature of
Dick Cheney
leadership.
told me to do.
So long as you're guided by principle, and so long as you're guided by a cause greater than self, you can endure criticism because it's going to come. One of the things I missed after the presidency was this daily learning, and thankfully painting came into my life. It's a learning
Daily
experience
learning.
because with every paint stroke,
Look
you
at
learn
these
something new.
facile, like
All right, I'm gonna do
talentless
another flower.
paintings.
It-
I
don't know. I'm impressed by them. I'm
kidding.
not impressed. Like it's not fucking like they don't belong in a museum, but there is like an artistry to his work, and he does have this kind of
Rob,
like. I know. I hate it. That's
No,
why.
no. I know what
did
you're
the
saying,
Soros checks
Robert.
dry up and now you have
No.
to fucking turn to the other side? What
Look,
is going
you're-
on?
I'm just saying it's like he has a style, and like like he can convey he could clearly convey a message through his paintings. Like you can tell what the painting is of. So it's like that's better. He's a better painter than me. He's a better painter than any of us.
We've not tried. I feel like if we gave
I've
ourselves
tried.
2 weeks, we would be on his level too. Like,
Rob,
maybe.
I agree with what you're saying, that you can separate the fact that he's a war criminal from his objective like talent.
he's
That's
the R.
fine.
Kelly of painting.
I'm
No, I'm not going that far. I'm not saying it's like revolutionary.
Hold on. I'm telling you,
competent.
I can do that too. I am doing that, and the paintings still suck. They're not good.
Yeah.
They're not good. It's like scribbles.
I don't think he should have gotten a fucking book deal.
Right.
Oh, also, I didn't. Shifty Shortcake is misquoting me. I didn't say George W. Bush has style. I said George W. Bush has a style. Okay, it's different.
Well, you can't tell by that fucking prison gym sweatshirt he's wearing in his studio that he has style.
It's important to have a set of priorities that guide you, and
Yeah,
your
like money.
team, your company, your managers have got to understand those priorities.
Oh,
To me,
man.
the most important priorities were my faith in my family and my friends. That
And my cocaine for a while.
Oh. I can listen to this. I would watch this masterclass. I wouldn't pay for it because I don't want to support evil.
Yeah.
But I would watch the shit out of this and hate watch it. Everything he says, just like we said before, the fact that he's not talking through a Hannibal Lecter muzzle is just enraging to me in and of itself. Anything he says after that is like icing on the shit cake. Honey, I want to watch a masterclass. Oh, okay. Why don't you watch the worst president in 100 years tell you how to make good decisions? He is good at making decisions. Like everything that they wanted to do, they did. Like everything that it was just, it's not like he was, I mean, if he had actually run anything, he probably would have been incompetent. But what his administration wanted to do, they did all of it. They did everything. They let poor people die in a hurricane. They blew up 2 countries completely and established U.S. bases there. They stole a shit ton of oil. Like they stopped rich people from ever paying a dime in taxes. Like what didn't they do? They did the Republicans' wet dream agenda.
Well, Roe versus Wade, they weren't able to get that one. That one had to be somebody else.
Well, that's the courts, Sid.
Yeah.
Those damn courts stopping overturning Roe versus Wade.
That
I don't
may
think they
sound
care
corny
about
to
that
some,
anyway. Do you think
but it helps
Republicans
you
really
reorganize-
care about
Yes.
overturning Roe versus Wade?
I honestly think they
Absolutely.
cared about it as something to get votes. So now I don't know
Right.
what the new thing is going to be. I guess it's drag queens in schools.
No, I think I disagree. I think they kept it. They didn't pursue it because it got votes. Like
yeah, because
kept
they
it-
could campaign on it. So now that it actually happened, I don't know what the new thing is going to be.
Right. But I think that's why I think it got rescinded, is because like there was the Bush faction of Republicans, which was like just loot the planet,
Mhm.
and then there's like the evangelical faction, which is like, no, this is killing babies. So when Bush was the president, like you had all of that, you know, they all right, yeah, abortion, sure,
We'll
sure,
pay
vote
lip
for us.
service to the fringe, but we're just here
Right.
for our own shit.
But like in the intervening years after that, like when Obama won, the evangelicals basically took over the entire Congress. So
Mhm.
that's how the roots of this started.
And there's a good amount of them on the Supreme Court itself. So done and done.
organize the rest of your life. Well,
Should have run one of the
Great,
9
great.
trillion
Glad to be
people who would have beat Trump in 2016. I guess.
Whoa.
What? I missed it. What did this
Look at
skeleton
this.
say?
Yeah, look at this. skull with a wig that just popped on the screen.
Oh dear.
your life.
I'll let your body shame
Hey, it
her.
was great. Glad to be here.
When I was speaking to audiences, I didn't want them to
I
think I
always-
was smarter.
Did she say glad to be here?
Yeah.
I just flew in from my separate home where I live away from you. How are you?
I always hated her. She always seemed like such an evangelical robot, like just
Laura
an
Bush
evil,
you're
evil
talking
woman.
about.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
the funny thing about it is, like, and I'm no fan of Michelle Obama, but once Obama won, all the Republicans went in on her like she's a man
Mhm.
and all, and she's even the ones that didn't go as far as saying that she's a man. They all just said she's ugly. You know what I mean? She's
she's
not
not
attractive.
a woman.
Do
she's
you
not feminine.
see the last two Republican first ladies? Like they both look like Skeletor. Like, what are you talking about? How do you make that
And then
argument?
Barbara Bush before that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. The last
Oh,
two
but
Republicans.
not counting Melania.
Oh, I
No,
meant
no,
at
no.
the time Obama was president.
Okay. Yeah.
Melania's gorgeous. You can't. I mean, can't take that. I think she's good. Well, she's like,
She's
She's
her
60
own
or
kind of
something.
Skeletor.
but she's like 60 anyway. I mean, if
Is
you
she
look at
that
her
old?
when, yeah, I think so. If you look at her when she was like
He would have been
25.
divorced her by now if she was. No, she's 52.
All right, but she's, I mean, I think she's, for her age, she looks great.
Well,
I'm not saying that.
surgery works miracles.
Okay,
Yeah.
but listen, I don't have to see the surgery.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Also, Darren, she's only a few years older than you. If you really
Oh shit!
Rob, I wasn't saying she was old. Why are you
said she
pulling
was
that
60. You said she was a decade older than she was. How dare you?
I guess her age.
Respect her age. No, I
So
know.
Rob
my
goes from
goodness.
defending George Bush's art to now defending Melania Trump. Wow,
Gee,
Rob,
that-
it's a banner day for you. Maybe you should just change shirts just to change the mojo of this episode for you so far.
Do you really care? Because I don't. What did it say on her jacket?
Rob, can we fast forward to the second hour where you talk about Trump's excellent commentary on his boxing pay-per-view?
It was pretty great. It really made the bootleg that I was watching worth it.
How about how he sold a stunner? Was that good?
No, that was not good. All right, there's just another minute of this.
Oh my
thing,
god,
but-
we're 40 minutes into the episode. We've only gotten through the first minute so far.
I didn't want them to think I was smarter than they were. One of the keys to communication is to figure out how to enable the person you're talking to relax. I was a master at the malaprop. Underestimate. The press corps reaction was,
I love that he's
Man,
making it seem
the
like
guy
this
really
was all
just said that.
intentional.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he?
all his
Or
gimmick.
is saying that he's a dumbass? I don't know. If he did like portion of this masterclass telling people how to get away with seeming stupid, and it allows you to do horrible shit because they just think you're a dummy, that would be
Yeah.
valuable information that he could disseminate through this masterclass. I'll have to say.
I gotta say, Rob, this freeze frame you have right now of his face is
It's perfect.
chef's kiss. It's like he's smelling a fart, he's shitting himself,
He
he's
looks
getting
like
a
the old,
blowjob. It's everything all at once.
He looks
Is
like
that-
the old NBC News anchor. What was his name?
Tom Brokaw.
Tom Brokaw. Thank you.
Tom Brokaw. That is a theme of, I guess, do war criminals just have the fart face look? Is
I
that
guess so.
with their souls shriveled up and it
Yeah.
comes through their
Try to
facial?
escape.
Ah! Look at this. You could just keep freezing every expression. There's new levels of shittiness.
press corps reaction was, did the guy really just say that?
So his master
remember
class is
right
going
after-
over how stupid he was when he was the president.
Exciting.
After 9/11 in the Oval Office, talking about praying for families that had suffered loss, I broke down in tears. If your heart
Yeah.
is touched, let people know that your heart is touched.
I broke down
Not
in
everybody's
tears
going to be a
right
leader,
after
but
I
everybody
planted
can
that C4 in the World Trade Center. I knew that I don't know, I couldn't handle the guilt.
end up being a better person. The challenge of life is not to attain wealth and status and power. The challenge of life is to improve and to learn to love better.
And I never did.
Everybody can do that.
Except
I'm
me.
George W. Bush, and this is Masterclass.
When he says to learn to love better, is he implying that he only started going down on his wife after leaving the White House?
Oh no. I
Do we
hope
think
not.
that's what it is?
She doesn't
He's a
deserve-
painter. All of a sudden, he eats pussy.
I don't think she doesn't deserve that kind of intimacy. She murdered a person.
Tell me about this. I don't remember this story.
Oh, I believe she was in a car. It was similar to the Razzle situation. She was driving a car. I believe the passenger, it was her boyfriend, and she crashed the car. He died and she survived. I think. It's been a while since I looked into this.
But that was fate, because that is what led her to meet George W. Bush and start a beautiful life together and be the first lady.
Rob, please, can you verify that and make sure I'm not getting the details horribly wrong on that?
I'm sorry. I was distracted.
Oh, go ahead. No, do your thing. I'll look it up. It's okay. I'll mute.
Alrighty. Well, that was G-Dub. So are you guys going to sign up for the masterclass?
No. How much is it? Is it a per class thing, or you sign up for the website and you get access to whatever's on it?
I believe it's either way. I believe you could either just get one course, or
so if I just wanted that course, let's find out what the price is.
I want to give the follow up on that accident. I was close. She ran a stop sign or something, hit another car, killed the person in that car, and that car happened to have her be driven by her friend.
Oh my God!
By accident.
Wow!
And he died.
God damn!
When she was 17.
All right. That was like 80 years ago.
You
Probably one of those Flintstone cars that you run with your feet.
You have to pay $180 essentially. It's a $15 a month membership, but you have to pay for a year up front.
Get the fuck out of here! So you can't just do this one video.
No.
Fuck out of here.
Pass.
That shit.
Like he needs more money.
I bet he did it for free. Just he wanted to have somebody to talk to. He misses the attention.
I need more painting materials.
Just bring some brushes and easels.
Yeah, he likes showing them off.
Ran out of the blood of Iraqi children. I need more magenta.
What's more expensive, the Masterclass or buying one of his paintings, Rob? Which one are you going to do?
Oh, can you buy one of his paintings?
Why not?
Was he on Etsy? Got an Etsy store?
Everyone check out my Tumblr.
It's just him falling down a flight of stairs.
Oh, he has that book, right? Yeah. Well, no, that book is. But okay, look, I want to show some of his paintings.
Oh my God, Rob won't let this go.
I'm not going to let it go. I mean, look, this is a.
Oh, it looks like Mad Magazine. Oh no, okay, that is
this one's not. This one's not good.
It's like if Putin fucked a raccoon.
This one's all right.
Who's that? He did Berknovitsky. Oh my God, no.
No, I can actually know it's him though. At least.
Yeah.
Was that other one? Ellen?
Yeah, seriously, what was that?
Was that Dirk Nowitzki starring in Phantom of the Opera? What is that mask on his face?
Who is that?
Ellen. I'm guessing Ellen.
No, golf star Annika
Sorenstam. Oh my God.
I thought he was buddies with Ellen, so I just thought, maybe.
Who's that guy? Is that Michael K. Williams?
No.
Rob, pronounce that name.
No.
Come on, do it, Rob. Do it, Rob.
No.
Do a boner.
God damn it, coward.
All right.
Dusty wants to know, Rob, if you would bang George W. Bush.
No, not.
How about? All right, but he's 80. How about as a young man, George W. Bush?
Let's see.
What if, like, he invited you? He was a big Metal Injection fan back in the day, a la Dave Grohl, and he was fascinated by you, Rob. He invited you to his portrait studio. He wanted to paint you. And one thing leads to another. He asked you to take your shirt off. He wants more of a boudoir style.
Not really my type. Not my type.
I don't know. He looks like. I mean, I'm not an expert in the male form, but he just looks like your basic bitch frat bro kind of guy.
Got a bit of a unibrow. Yeah. Oh my God, is that Ted Bundy? That's not George W. Bush. That's Ted Bundy.
That's peak cokehead G-Dubs.
This is how about Bill Apter? Dusty asks.
He always brings up Bill Apter. It's like the
why Bill Apter?
Because he's like one of your heroes,
And he's
Bill Apter's a treasure.
Rob could totally. You can show up to one of those AEW shows. You could totally get Bill Apter.
Rob, he'd be like a personality fuck. He'd be like, "You're not that really find him physically attractive, but like he wins over your heartstrings by being so engaging. He has all these stories of his journalism.
Meanwhile,
And you
if you
find
turn
yourself
on-
strangely attracted to him.
If you turn on Bill Apter's podcast right now, someone's telling him, "No, Rob Pesbani would be a personality fuck for you, Bill. He's very charming."
How dare you?
Rob has the George W. Bush age 32 mane going on.
He's got the George W. Bushy eyebrows.
Do it? No, my eyebrows aren't that bushy. Get out of here. Get out of here.
That's true. You know, I feel like if you asked me, I would have said Rob has bushy eyebrows, like if I had to describe you. But then I look at your eyebrows. If I focus, I see they're kind of normal eyebrows. I think I'm bringing some of the hair down, like mentally. Like,
Yeah.
it's just,
Do you go to like one of those threading places in the subway concourse?
I do not. I do not. Occasionally, my barber will give my eyebrows a trim.
Shifty Shortcake says they'd be the new Benifer. What would be your portmanteau name with Bill Apter? Bill Apter.
Raptor?
Raptor. That's perfect. That should be the episode title.
Yes.
Raptor with an E.
100%.
To Toronto.
We need that software that, like, if they mated program to see what a Rob and Bill Apter son would look like.
Oh boy. Hopefully it look like Rob. He just Apter looks too much like a average Mishkite, like, you know.
It would be Douglas Levison.
Wait, our Discord buddy? Douglas Levison,
the
or the
actual,
real one?
The pure uncut sucker.
Sucker. Oh, that's. I don't know. I think Douglas Levison is less attractive than both of these gentlemen.
Sucker.
It would
Well,
take
it's
some
like-
kind of genetic deformity or something.
I'm a pessimist, so I'm like putting both of their worst character traits, physical
That's
traits,
fair.
into one person.
I suppose it could happen.
It's like if you stuffed Rob into Bill Apter's body.
Hmm.
Same height as Bill Apter, but like a whole extra person crammed in there.
I can see it. So Rob would be the hump.
Yes. Rob, you've been called a hump before, right?
Oh,
You nothing! You nothing!
Dusty Rose Muffler says that Rob and Bill Apter's son would look like Kurgan.
Oh! Kurgan was very fit and ripped. He was ripped. Just had to-
I'm not sure I would describe Kurgan as fit or ripped, but
I
sure.
think his is in good shape. I think his face was the negative drawback that made him look
for
crazy.
sure.
You don't think he was a good ass? I mean, he looked like a pretty muscular guy.
No.
Am I remembering
even
wrong?
walk.
Oh no! I'm not saying he was like a good wrestler or anything. I'm just saying like he looked like he went to the gym at least. He looked like he was. I don't know. Maybe I'm remembering wrong.
El Duderito with the line of the day. Uncut Sucko was Rob's nickname in high school.
It's not true at all. I'm very cut.
I don't think that's how he means it. I think he
How does he
means
mean
you
it?
were a sucker of the uncut.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see.
Sucker!
Or at least I'm correcting his meaning to be more grammatically accurate. Duderito, you let us know.
All right. Well, there's a hot new product on the market.
Oh no.
Oh,
that I
the Vince Neil ab roller taser, ab taser.
It's in fact
Oh,
our friend of the
muted.
show, Vinny Stigma.
Hey, I'm Vinny Stigma. And then sometimes when I go out and play, I use Pete's Pomade. Yo, smells great, non-greasy, goes on real smooth, really cool. Pete's Pomade. Now remember, it's not the man, it's the hair.
He's like if Paulie Walnuts went to CBGB's.
It
Bless his
really
heart.
is. And I guess this is because Jander, by the way, in the Discord is the one who linked us to this. It's posted on Pete from Sick of It All's Instagram account. So I guess he has his own brand of pomade and he just has other New York hardcore legends shill for it, I assume, which
Yeah. Why not?
What's the audience for pomade from the guy from Sick of It All? Like, how many units are they
think
shipping
about
of that?
how many of their listeners use pomade. I think it's a good.
Not how
cross-section.
many? None of them have hair left to put pomade in. They're
Well,
all
Pete
older than
does. He
me.
has that mohawk. He's got that mohawk he's rocking.
I guess. Are you going to get some, Rob? You could use some pomade.
No, I don't use pomade. It's
Remember,
too-
Rob, it's not the man, it's the hair.
I don't. What does that mean?
Nothing.
nothing.
Like your character doesn't matter at all as long as you have your hair looks good.
Yeah.
Man, Sid, you and I are fucked.
Yeah, we're shit out of luck.
Also, Vinny Stigma has a buzz cut mohawk. You know, he doesn't need pomade,
But to spike it up,
but it's too short to spike up.
is it? Or maybe
Yeah.
you're just seeing him in his casual look, and then when he's on stage, he spikes it.
You know, Sid, sometimes you say things that make so much sense that I'm like, what am I even thinking? How could I have not gotten here?
That's what I'm here for.
I think it was made from the pigeon poop from the roof of Vinny Stigma's house.
They just scrape and put it in a little plastic container. Pete Kohler comes over with a little scraper. And Vinny's all excited. He's going to hang out with his buddy, and his buddy just wants to go to the roof by himself for hours at a time. That commercial is like the only time that they spent together in the room. The rest of the time, Pete was just scraping the ceiling.
He's a boondoggle motherfucker. Me personally, I like fancy tales, you know, like satinets.
So Deuterino says we need some crust punk Palm Wonderful. Would you take advice from people who prided themselves on being like shitty and crusty their entire lives?
But
Like I feel like
so there would be a juice drink sold by crust punks. I'm just trying to understand what that product would.
I'm guessing from context that Palm Wonderful is some kind of thing you put in your hair.
No. It's pomegranate juice.
Is it really?
It's a brand of pomegranate juice.
Oh well, I don't know shit from pomegranate either. So
Yeah,
Palm I know, but I don't know what Palm Wonderful is.
it's just a brand. I think Howard Stern used to advertise for it back in the day.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That must have been after I stopped listening.
Yeah.
I remember Snapple commercials
Oh yeah.
every second.
He put them on the map.
Yeah, they were like in the back of the refrigerator at the bodega before he started talking about Snapple.
Totally took Arizona iced tea's shine, thanks to the Howard Stern bump.
Yeah, they're long gone. I haven't seen Arizona iced tea in forever.
You know, it's still around.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the bootleg brand now,
I haven't
but it's
seen
still
it.
out there.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I'm very happy.
Rob, have you ever talked to Noah about if, like, where she lives, Arizona iced tea is way more prevalent?
It didn't look more or less prevalent.
No?
when I was-
Probably not. It's like eating a New York strip steak in New York. We don't eat that shit. That's just a name.
Fair.
It's for people who want to feel like New Yorkers.
I guess that's why Arizona iced tea does so poorly, because nobody really wants to feel like they're from Arizona.
That's a good point. You're
Sad.
tasting a bit of liquid Arizona.
It's like cactus spikes in the beverage.
Yeah.
It hurts. You don't want that.
And like meth rehab centers.
God.
So, you know, last few weeks we've been really getting to know new friend of the show, Andy McCoy. Of course, the guitarist of Hanoi Rocks, man with a bad drinking problem.
Ugh.
And what's interesting now is, you know, he's been in the headlines enough that other people are now talking about him, including John Corabi, who at one point,
not John
he-
Corabi.
Phil, like he replaced Vince Neil in Motley Crue, if you recall. It did not go well, but he has a great story about hanging out with Andy McCoy.
Excited
So
to hear
let's. That's not the slide. One moment.
It's okay. Take your time. Were you pulling an Andy McCoy here?
No.
You a little drunk? In the sauce?
I just want to say, hat.
You drinking a little hard Arizona iced tea over there?
No.
All right, here it is. This is
Oh,
actually
no.
with the same guy, I believe, who did the first Andy interview that went viral. So good follow-ups here.
It was a huge club.
He's like Prince. He has a single name now, Corabi.
Are we sure that's not Kevin Nash?
Words. Andy took. Yeah, exactly, Debbie. Don't open the can. Andy took me and Blotzer out to a nightclub, and it was like
Bobby Blotzer.
I love it. Yeah, I love Andy, but holy shit, he's a whole other, like, you know. And then
Very eloquent.
out and everything was great. And then I went back to a couple of years later. I went back.
Dusty Rhodes Muffler points out that that's the Boogie Woogie Man.
It's true, Jimmy Valiant.
So true.
I would rather hear the vegetable kohlrabi speak than this guy.
Swedish Rock Festival.
Here it
And
comes.
I didn't realize it, but a very good friend of mine, Connie Bloom, who plays guitar with the Electric Boys, he was playing with Hanoi Rocks. And so I kind of walking by, and Connie's like, Rob, you know, so I went over and I sat at the table that they were sitting at. And Andy was just kind of staring at me. And I had the red scarf. I just kind of had it tied around the top of my head. And he took offense to me wearing the scarf because it was like, that's my thing.
What?
Okay, whatever.
I invented scarves.
And then, so somebody said, "Oh no, Andy, this is John. He sang with Motley Crue." And I thought Andy was seriously going to pummel me to death. He had this cane. And he came at me with this fucking cane, and he was like literally wanting to hit me with the cane. So I grabbed the cane, and then his girlfriend and Angela, I think her name is Angela, Angela and Connie came over, and they're like, no, dude, that's not the originals. That's not Vince. That's John. He took Vince's place. And
what?
So he settled down, but his fucking beef, and I can't say that I blame him, was the fact that Motley had just released Music to Crash Your Car to. And he was not having it. And he sat there in his very difficult to understand English. He sat there and he was like, I think that's fucking bullshit, Nikki Sixx, and those guys are nothing but a bunch of scumbags. And he was going on and on and on about how he felt it was distasteful. Not only did they call it Music to Crash Your Car to, but there was a volume 1, and then they turned around and did a volume 2.
And it was all Hanoi Rocks covers.
Andy and Michael Zatz, and they weren't.
Well, at least
happy
then
about it.
they'd get
I
some
can't say that I
royalties
blame
out of
them.
it.
You know,
Wow.
and it was like, wow, okay, hey, dude, I had nothing to do with that.
So if fucking Andy McCoy started beating him up thinking he was Vince Neil. That's how out of it he was.
Is he face blind? Is that possible?
Maybe. But I just love that handlers had to be like, no, Andy, no, that's not Vince. That's a different singer. Hey, I'm a different singer.
Can you? I mean, one guy's 150 pounds less than the other. You got to be really obliterated to not.
Well,
notice
but this might have also been like 20 years ago, right? Like
was it?
Yeah,
maybe.
And it's a dark club.
Mm.
And he's fucking hammered, but also this is really heel versus like Music to Crash Your Car to. How incredibly tasteless. Yeah. Is that for Motley Crue to agree to do that? You know, like obviously this is some PR marketing guy's idea. Like, but then like people actually died.
Yeah, the joke is like they're such partiers that they're fuck ups and they we crashed a car. We crash cars, you know what I mean, man? You know. But yeah, like Rob said, some people died. So it's a very tragic. Yeah, it's a very tragic thing that when I watch Andy McCoy, because like a lot of what he's saying is perfectly valid, but the delivery just makes it so
Yeah.
hard to take credibly.
And he also sounds like someone who drives drunk a lot.
Yeah.
So like he's lucky he hasn't killed any bandmates.
Yeah. 100%.
It seems like he's almost Vince Neil himself.
There, but for the grace of God, goes Andy McCoy.
And also Nikki Sixx pushed back at all this recent trashing in the press that Andy McCoy was doing of him for not thanking Andy for saving Nikki when Nikki was having an overdose. And so Nikki clarified. Nikki says, Andy McCoy has been on a rant saying I never thanked him for saving my life after a heroin overdose. It's true. I also never thanked him for getting me the drugs during my deadly addiction that night.
Oh,
I get it. He's just trying to sell a book, an album, or a club tour. Whenever other musicians start to slag us, I usually look them up and realize they're in the middle of trying to sell a book, music, tour, or something you have, or something to you using my or our name. Things that make you go,
wait, he said that? He said things
Yeah.
that make you go,
Making a 30-year-old Arsenio Hall reference.
Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, remember that when he started that
Sorry.
band with Courtney Love? It was really good.
I'm confusing my late night talk show hosts with their gay porn counterparts. My apologies.
Is there really an Arsenio
He's
Hall?
the Mr. Marcus of gay porn.
Who's in his dog pound, Rob?
there is a black gay porn studio called Dog Pound USA. So there you go. There you
Did they
go.
do the Arsenio Hole parody?
You should pitch them.
I
that.
should pitch that, yeah. Like the reboot. No, what's interesting is I feel like porn seems like it's like the last vestige of segregation with like the categories and everything. It's so, like just the idea that there is an interracial category seems a little dated, right?
Well, I think it's because people like still harbor those feelings. They're just socially aware that it's less rare for people to come out with those feelings verbally, but when they do porn, they just let their id come out and they jerk off.
Yeah. Agreed.
Do you want to answer El Duderino's question in the chat?
I don't, but we can ask it. What's top 5 late night hosts he'd fuck?
How many late night hosts are there? We counting
Yeah,
all time?
and
Like,
All
they're not
time, I
very
would say, in
attractive.
their prime.
Rob, Johnny Carson, tight ass? No.
If he was wearing his Karnak headpiece.
Jack Parr, Steve Allen.
Rob, are you now Googling pictures of all the hosts?
I'm Googling late night hosts just to see who my options are.
Jimmy
here.
Kimmel.
Oh, yeah,
Stephen-
Trevor Noah is handsome, but
He's not really a late night
Yeah,
host. He's a-
somehow that's like a separate category. The half hour, like I don't count John Oliver as a late night host.
Right.
Exactly.
Brett
That seems
Kilborn.
like
Well,
a
but on the other hand,
Cool.
Sid, while I agree with you, let's expand the
Sure.
options that Rob has. I want to see.
Okay,
who
so you
he'd
got
fuck.
Trevor Noah. That's one.
Mhm. That's about it, right?
That's
What
really
about
it,
Conan?
yeah.
Conan?
No, I want to hang out with Conan, but I
Yeah.
was never sexually attracted.
He put a hand on your thigh. You're not. Come on, he's a
Yeah.
celebrity.
I mean, just because of like the influence
Celebrity.
and respect that I have for him,
Oh,
like it's like all right.
You'd give him a
If Conan,
sympathy.
if Conan,
reach
if
around.
Conan needed me to fuck him, or like give him a reach
Needed.
around.
I thought you meant like the I want to fuck a celebrity thing. You raw dog it, like just for the experience. Also, he's a celebrity that's a rare celebrity that's like your height too. Might be interesting.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase.
Oh,
No.
Joan Rivers.
Yeah, Chevy Chase in his prime was a good-looking man. So.
Magic Johnson.
Don't fuck Magic Johnson.
Magic
Well,
Johnson
you take
is
some
fun
prep.
also. Yeah, it's fine now. He's undetectable. I would have
So-
the prep, so I would be able to.
So are we
do
putting
some prep
Magic
shit.
Johnson on the list? Is he number 2 behind Trevor Noah?
Let me see what he looked like. Let me get a photo.
We can just, but let's count their primes only. Don't count if
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
70 years old.
Of course, yeah. Of course. In his prime,
Of course.
sure. Definitely.
Okay, so Trevor Noah, Magic Johnson.
Of
course.
Tom Snyder.
No, Craig Kilborn. Craig Kilborn.
Craig Kilborn. Okay.
Craig
Oh,
Ferguson.
and Arsenio Hall in his prime certainly was a handsome.
Really? You think so?
Sure.
I mean, not unattractive.
Does that mean you'd bang Josh Homme? Because he sort of looks like
actually,
Rick Kilborn.
no, I take it back. I wouldn't bone Arsenio Hall.
What? How come?
Not
What
into
changed?
face.
The
How about-
face.
He looks like a comedian. He's not conventional.
Exactly.
He's not unattractive, but he's not
Yeah.
conventionally attractive, I would say. He's like the Chris Rock, same type of deal there.
Ouch.
No, I'm not saying they're ugly. I'm just saying they're not like cover
No, I know,
models.
it's
You know,
still
like
funny. So then
What
who do
about-
we have? We've got Trevor Noah, we've got Magic Johnson. Who else was there?
Craig
Kilborn. We need 2 more.
how about David Letterman, maybe?
No.
No, wow.
Get outta
Holy
here.
shit. Even like
Get outta
30-year-old David Letterman?
What about Gary Shandling? Do we count Larry Sanders?
No, he actually hosted the Tonight
Yeah.
Show and stuff.
No,
How about
no.
I don't think he would fuck Gary. Maybe for comedic respect, he would fuck Gary Shandling. I don't think he's attractive. He's a real ugly guy.
For my
Yeah.
career, I would fuck Andy Cohen. Would that work? Maybe
Does
get
he
on
count as
Bravo. Yes,
late
yes.
night
Watch What
host?
Happens Live.
That's
What
not
about-
late though. That's like 9 o'clock, isn't it? I don't
It's
count
late,
that.
late for some people.
What about Andy Richter? Like
Oh,
sidekicks
no.
now?
Sidekicks.
Ed McMahon? Would you fuck Ed McMahon?
Oh,
No, Merv Griffin. That's another career.
Oh.
fuck.
Well, he was actually gay. Though,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
You might have a chance there.
for
Hmm.
sure.
Oh, yeah. Also,
Actually-
he was like a serial, like he was a sexaholic. So I think he basically fucked everybody, men and women, but was revealed himself to be like principally, predominantly gay. But he was just like a bed hopper. What was I going to say? Jay Leno, we didn't do. That was mentioned.
No.
Oh, Vince McMahon.
Although,
He hosted
Ed-
Tuesday Night
Ed-
Titans.
I wouldn't fuck Jay Leno, but Ed Eubanks in his prime.
Ed
Certainly.
Eubanks.
Ed
Oh,
Eubanks.
Kevin
is that it?
Kevin Eubanks.
Kevin Eubanks. Sorry, thank you.
Oh, you combined it with Ed McMahon. That's
Yeah, there you go.
You are
Kevin
correct,
He
sir.
doesn't count. He's not a host. That's a musician. That's a different cat.
That's not true. Him and Jay Leno host a game show now. I don't know.
What?
That's indication. Yeah, I saw it at like
Wait.
a dentist office or something.
So is he still the band leader on the game show? Or is he like
no, he's just
co-hosting?
he's just a co-host.
Does he
What-
turn? Because Jay Leno, we all know, is a massive racist. So does he make Kevin turn the letters over or something? Like, I don't think he would share the spotlight with Kevin, who deserves it.
Let me see. Let me look up the trailer for the show. I only like had a brief kind of view of it. Here
Oh,
we go.
Tom Green. That's a good one from Dusty.
No.
What about Paul Schaefer?
No.
Is he gay?
We
I don't
asked
think
people.
so.
He's
what
effeminate. That clearly doesn't make him gay, but
planet
I think he has a
is
wife, so no.
furthest in our galaxy. So I'm going to give you a hint. It is named after Mickey Mouse's dog. This guy said when he went Goofy. That's right, sir. It's the Goofy planet. We're going to be
Wait,
doing
what?
a show and from the
No.
live.
Get out
So
of
you
here.
just
Jay-
did a show like on Zoom?
Oh, he's doing the Groucho show. You
That's an
bet your
interview.
life. I did hear about this. Jay Leno, I got to say, I guess I don't really pay attention to the universe of Jay Leno, but since the last time I checked in on him, he aged a whole bunch, and I don't think it was that long.
Mm-hmm.
The guilt of stealing that show from Conan. That's
Yeah. He looks like Herman Munster's corpse.
No, very accurate. Scarily accurate.
Thank you very much. Say hello to my co-host, Kevin Eubanks.
Oh, he gets
No,
to
it's
share the stage with Jay Leno?
It's interesting though, yeah, but the show is called "You Bet Your Life with Jay Leno,"
Yeah.
not with Jay Leno and Kevin Eubanks.
Right.
You know, and he doesn't get Kevin Eubanks doesn't get the announcer to intro him.
I don't give top billing out. Just anybody. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
they have their
I
own
guess he just
cartoon?
needs someone. He needs someone to laugh at his jokes. You
Wait,
know,
did you see that logo? They have Jay Leno, this like 4 feet taller than Kevin Eubanks, even though they're like kind of the same height. I think Kevin Eubanks is taller than
Yeah.
him, isn't he?
This is all very strange.
and also look at it. Kevin Eubanks doesn't look like he's aged a bit.
Yeah.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Kev, who have you found to play the game? Teamed up with a registered nurse who drinks.
Oh, no, he's aged.
Yeah, he's aged a little bit.
Celery
Yeah,
juice.
He's a little
But still.
raisiny.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's my regiment. Yeah, well, and informative.
That's right. He just needs Kevin there to laugh at his jokes. That's his laugh track.
911 dispatcher who sang lead with a death metal band.
What?
What?
Rob, do you know this person?
Found a good one.
Before he meets them to start the game, let's find out.
By the way, did you hear the
Secret
beginning?
word.
You hear the beginning of that segment? He's like, Kevin, who did you find to be on the show today? So
Yeah, they've
Kevin's
got
like,
him like walking the streets looking for contestants.
Kevin's the recruiter.
It is gum. Okay, use the camera on your phone to scan the QR code on your screen. Let the car gurus take the guesswork out of buying your next
such
car.
pandering.
Let's bring
Oh
on our
my
first two
God.
contestants meeting right over here.
What a great
Radio
show this
time.
was,
Yeah,
the
who do we
original,
have?
and they're just
It's
distorting
John
it
A.,
into
a
like this
registered nurse
corporate
who
horror
loves
shit.
celery.
Is this only on YouTube or is this on television also?
911.
So this is in the metal band guy. Let's go to the metal band guy. Let's see.
I think it is. I think they were saying he's a 911 dispatcher.
No. I think there's a few different contestants.
Oh.
See, a city girl who married a farmer. and
She's the
got a
death metal
dog
singer, I bet.
who won't drink coffee. All right,
No.
welcome back.
I think it was
No,
the
no.
first
How you
pair.
doing?
Just fine.
A city
Jay
girl
Leno's the
hired
worst
city
guy
girl.
for this show. Did you
Yeah,
guys
I
ever
am.
see the
What city
original
you going
show?
No.
Well,
It
No.
was like on in the 50s or whatever.
I
just
wasn't
bring-
around back then.
They just bring like 3 people on, and he just has a conversation with them. And
Oh, really?
the game is if they say that secret word, they win some money.
Mm.
But
Oh,
really,
wow.
the show it was gum. But the show is like really just a chat show with regular people. So who could
I
be
see.
worse for that than
Yeah.
Jay Leno?
Yeah, the worst
How you
conversationalist.
doing?
Yeah.
hi, I'm good.
That's a pretty name.
Thank you.
And Dean, that's an okay name. What are you, John A? But it's all right.
He really does
Oh,
look like
yeah,
a
nice
grandpa
to
now,
have you
Jay
here.
Leno.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah,
Cool.
he's
Now,
what is he in his
tell me,
70s?
You've been dating a guy for a while. How long you been dating this guy?
72.
Since
He was
like
he was doing
March
stand up in the
2018.
early 80s.
Oh. And how's that going?
It's going good.
It's
Wow.
crazy to see where Letterman and him are now in their careers. Like Letterman is still doing something respectable, and then Jay Leno's doing this and that weird car show he has on CNBC.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that still exists.
He's just
I think
such
so.
the epitome of hack.
You will
Yeah.
marry-
Yeah,
He just weaponized being a hack into a monetary gain, better than anyone else ever.
Mhm.
some of my favorite Bill Hicks material is on just roasting Jay Leno and
The
his
Doritos commercials.
Yeah.
And this was before Jay Leno even got the Tonight Show, right?
Yeah.
He's probably guest hosting at that point, but I don't know if he had it exclusively yet now.
I think Bill Hicks died before Jay Leno got the Tonight
He
Show.
died when he found out.
That's
That's what did it.
Bill Hicks would have approved of that joke if he was alive.
Anyway, fuck the Jay Leno.
Yeah.
Oh no, I won't fuck the Jay Leno. I
Oh yeah, that's right. So
I would not.
we still haven't gotten to 5 names.
Yeah.
Are there just not 5 in existence ever that you would have?
No.
I still say I think you should fuck David Letterman. He's still alive. He's a comedic genius. He may have coasted the last couple of decades, but he's still a brilliant mind.
You got to admit, like, let's say you're topping David Letterman and you finish and you roll over onto the bed. You know he's going to say something fucking hilarious
True.
when it's all said and done. And it's going to be worth it for that moment. Whatever it is he says, it's going to make you laugh out loud.
He's gonna turn to Paul Schaefer, who's standing in the closet, and
With
say
the
something.
keyboard.
Say something witty.
I guess would Graham Norton count? Graham Norton in his prime. I'd bone him.
Dave Letterman would look in the camera that's in the bedroom and go, "I guess I've been topped. Topped, Paul. Topped is what the kids are calling it. I believe that was docking." Throws the card away.
It's a condom.
Ladies and gentlemen, the top from our home office in Omaha, Nebraska, the top 10 things Rabba Pezbani says as pillow talk. Number 10.
All right.
Maybe the listeners could throw in some suggestions. They could. Rob? What's our email address? Maybe you could email Rob suggestions of late night hosts he should have sex with.
Or write a top 10 list for David Letterman's show that involves Rob and sex somehow.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Either of those are your two options.
Email address is riplivecast@gmail.com. And I want to talk about our playlist. Every week, each of us picks a little songy song. We throw it up on our playlist. The RIP A Livecast Music Break is what we call it. You can find it on Spotify. You know, back in the day, we would throw music breaks into these podcasts, but now due to the wonderful world of copyright tagging, we avoid it. So instead, we throw them up on a playlist. This week, my pick is a Blondie with my favorite song of theirs, Atomic. I went to see Blondie on Thursday. They played in New York City. It was great to see Debbie Harry, but it was a little disappointing to see that like there were no other original members. I guess they had the bassist of Sex Pistols playing with them, who is not Sid Vicious, obviously. And so that was kind of cool. But then like I don't know, I went to see a Blondie show, and then at the end of a lot of their songs, there would be like an interlude of noodling and shredding, and I swear
someone
I felt
that you did not come to see.
Exactly, from like one of the guitarists that's like 30 years younger than Debbie Harry, and I just felt like Sid in that moment of like enough with the solos, like I didn't fucking come to a Mars Volta show to see some fucking
Debbie is
extensive
tired.
noodling.
She needs those extra few seconds to catch her breath for the next fucking song, man.
How old is she anyway? I'm just curious.
She's definitely
I think she looks great. At least the
She
last time I
is
saw her.
77.
Yeah, she looks unbelievable for
77.
77, and she fucking rocked it for over an hour, and her voice is phenomenal.
She's great. She's one of my favorites ever.
Yes, she's aged so gracefully, and
she
she's
was
beautiful.
She was doing that, like, you know, I feel independent rocker woman thing before any of these other people did it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think she was a pioneer in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and one thing that really kind of stuck out to me about Blondie is the range of musical styles that they would experiment with, like
seamlessly.
Yeah, and it all fit. There was like disco songs, there was reggae, there was, you know, obviously Rapture with the first mainstream rap song.
This is what's good about them, though, is that they do all that stuff, but it all still sounds like Blondie. Like, you know, it doesn't feel contrived. Like they're all doing. It sounds like the same band, but yet completely different.
And I was a little disappointed that Chris Stein wasn't there, who's the original guitarist.
He's having health issues, right?
He has health issues. Yeah, he's having heart problems. And really, like a lot of those riffs that he wrote, they're fucking timeless. They're so good. And you kind of forget how many hits Blondie had.
Yeah.
So many.
Yep.
To the point that I didn't even stay for the encore. I was satisfied. My back.
There's probably a lot of people know Blondie songs and don't even know that it's Blondie at this point.
Yeah.
Like
one way or another, I feel like you almost don't know that it's a Blondie song. So that was in the encore and Call Me. Like, I don't need to hear that song.
Right.
I'm all right.
But still, you got to play that. They
closed it. Yeah. No, I understand. I just wanted to go sit down. My back.
Oh, you left.
Yeah. They closed with Heart of Glass before the encore, which is a fun one too.
I would like to on the telephone.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, they definitely did. Yeah. They did all the songs I wanted to hear, so I was very happy.
I wanted to say that I briefly met Debbie Harry because I was working in a store, and she was in there shopping. It was a record store, and I was about 18, and I panicked, and I couldn't get a word out. I wanted to go over and say I'm a big fan, and I was just like, I completely lost it, and then no words would come out of my mouth because I was starstruck by her. And she is one of those people. We talked about this on the Guar Patreon episode that we did. When in our interactions with Dave Brocky, like he walks in a room, he just has it. You know, he may have had all his other problems and fucking personality disorders, but he's just got magnetism. She has magnetism. Like you could have never heard of Blondie, you would know that this person is a star when you're next to her.
I believe it.
Agree.
Was that the most starstruck you've ever been?
No, funny enough, in almost exactly the same spot I was standing when I met her, I met Lars Ulrich.
Oh
no! And I was such a Metallica fan. Like nowadays, I'd be like, "Who's this little runt?" You know. But I was 18 when I met him, and he was in there, and everyone was coming up to him, and he would look like annoyed, but he was, to his credit, you know, he was patiently signing for everybody. Said hello, had a smile on his face. So I give him credit for that. But I went up to him. I was probably like the 7th person or something. And this was not a signing. He was just in there shopping.
Mm-hmm.
But it became a signing. And I didn't ask anything to be signed. I was just like, oh my God, I'm such a huge fan. I started babbling, and he just basically patronized me. He was like, all right, man, calm down. It's good. I'm just a person, man. It's no big deal, man. And I needed it. Like, he actually, like, so I was so embarrassed to tell that based on who he is now. But, like,
Yeah. Well, that's why you spent the rest of your life finding out that he was right. He is just a person.
yeah. I mean, I was 18. Like, give me a break.
No, it's a totally reasonable reaction for you, for your favorite band, you know, a member of your favorite band to be there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to just share my favorite Debbie Harry photo.
Uh-oh.
Because she's so cool and she's so old school New York.
Oh,
it's just her in front of the Cyclone, looking like she's been partying.
If I was her age in that picture and I just saw her, I would propose marriage based on that. That's just the exact kind of woman that I like.
So that was me. So what did you pick, Darren?
Oh, I picked Phil Oakes, who was like the epitome of like 60s and 70s protests. Folk music, because I hadn't listened to him in a while, and I was just going through Spotify and listening to old Phil Oakes songs. And the song is called Love Me, I'm a Liberal. He was one of those guys that he wouldn't exist today in music because he was like critical of both parties and war and all that shit. So he was like a huge star. And folks music doesn't really sell as much as it used to either, but like people would just chant his lyrics at protests and stuff. You know, really good guy too, like humanitarian, nice guy, and I'm a big fan of his. If you never got into folk music before, like this, he's a very good entry level person to start exploring the world of 60s civil rights folk music.
And I believe Pinhead Gunpowder, which is Billy Joe Armstrong's former side project band, did a cover of one of his songs. I think
Will
Work for Food.
Oh,
is that
wow.
one of the songs?
I don't know that song, but yeah.
I think so.
And Sid, what did you pick?
Funny enough, it seems anytime my song is the most recently released one, it's still like 30 years old. It's just you guys went even further back. So that's the case today. I picked the song Romantic Call by Patra, the queen of the dance hall. Remember Patra. But she basically is what Queen of Vagina thinks she is.
Yes.
Patra was like the blueprint for that kind of performer, and it was great. It was like early 90s, and I'd watch BET, and it'd be all rap videos, and then they throw in one like Jamaican dance hall song, and it was always Patra. And this is the song. I had this album.
And what song did you pick?
Romantic Call, where she is calling her boyfriend's house and the mom picks up and she's trying to get her boyfriend on the phone.
She was so hot, and she would do like R-rated videos too, which was not really a thing yet. I feel like 1991-ish.
But she's not even that old. Like, I looked her up on Wikipedia. I thought she'd be like in her 60s or now. She's 48 years old.
Yeah, she might have been illegal when she made these videos.
Seriously, right? Did R. Kelly produce that album?
Because that was like the same time that like Buju Banton and like it was dominated by men. And any women that are in that scene, like Dawn Penn, they were like 50 years old.
Yeah.
No. It was all like these crooning, like more mature women, and she just came out of nowhere. She was like the Foxy Brown of dance hall. She was great. That's a great pick.
Thank you. So that's
and I want to mention our Patreon. If you want to give us a little extra love, give us a shout, give us some support, you can do so. Patreon.com/RIP Livecast. $5 a month gets you access to over 2 years of great, timeless, evergreen bonus episodes that you can enjoy at your leisure once you're done with the free episodes the free entertainment that we provide you every week. We just posted an episode last week. What was the one that we just did? I totally forgot. That went up last week.
God, you're killing me. Let me look it up. We've done so many. Oh, the Chuck Klosterman hypotheticals.
Yes. That's right.
It's great.
That is a very fun episode. It's basically like a full livecast episode. It's available in video and audio form. We actually have a preview that we threw up on the RSS feed. So as soon as this episode is done, the next file in this RSS feed is that little preview. And Hypotheticals is basically Chuck Klosterman proposes a question that you could ask at a party. Just strike up conversation. And boy, did we strike up some unique conversations.
It's great.
Yeah. But don't say we threw it up on the website. That's not a good imagery.
We jizzed it all over our feed.
We janked it up there and
we yeeted it. It's been yeeted.
And also we have a roundtable discussion about the new Guar documentary. We have a roundtable discussion about the new Beavis and Butthead movie. And I've been watching the show. It's been very, very fun. It's been nice. It's been nice to have back some other fun watch-alongs we've done. We've done episodes of Judge Steve Harvey. We've done Money Plane, a terrible movie with Kelsey Grammer and Edge from WWE.
Oh, my God.
Out for Justice. Anybody seen Richie? And in our past archives, we did watch-alongs of old Metal Injection bits, of Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, which, by the way, you probably can't even find that movie.
So for the best.
Yeah, it's for the best.
We had trouble finding it to watch for the thing, right?
One of my favorite watch-alongs was Kurt and Courtney. One of the most heated watch-alongs was the Lemmy.
Oh my God!
Watch-along.
Could we do a watch-along of that watch-along?
Yeah, maybe for next month's Patreon we'll watch just that one segment.
There's probably
Cannibal
stuff
Holocaust, which is a brutal movie, and Until the Light Takes Us, which is a black metal documentary. So yeah, there's a lot of great stuff in here.
I always got to stick up for Tag Team. We don't talk enough about that one. That's probably one of my favorites.
Patreon.com/RIP Livecast. That's $5 a month. And hey, throw us 5 extra bones. You get to go in the next tier, which is the top Livecast fan of the week, where you get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. How should we do it?
Oh, it's George Bush Masterclass style. Come on,
Darren, could you do it? You did a terrific G-Dubs impression.
How about I was going to say we tag team this one, and you be Dick Cheney telling me what to say, and I'll be George W. Bush. That's
my Cheney.
Okay. Now, Eric and Benjamin, I'm glad you're alive. I never sent you out to Iraq. You're two good guys. All right, I'm glad you're Patreon fans. El Duderino and Dan R.
Say something about that.
What does R stand for? Stands for really illegal invasion. Sam I Am, Mindy Mary's keeper. That's good. I like keepers. I'm a big fan of the Jews. They helped me get elected. Jander, Shashur, Shashushich. That sounds like some kind of foreign name, like French. Or French fries. We're going to call you Freedom Fries. I'm going to call you Shashur Freedom from now on. Okay, Rabba Ganoush, aka Justin. That sounds like some Middle Eastern food. I'm not a big fan of that. We're gonna go bomb your house right now. Cattle Decaf and Robert Vampiro. A lot of people call me a Vampiro throughout the years. That's because I suck the blood of children. That's how I stay alive. Hugo likes tacos, Lando Danks, and LaCroix. I don't know. I paint with LaCroix. It's very good. It's like an acrylic. It goes on the canvas very well. I'm going to do a masterclass on how I paint with very trendy liquid options. And now, Corey, Scotty H, Doug Pigman, of course, my boy, Dick Cheney. You haven't said a lot in a while. You're like a pig man. People have called you a pig man.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Douglas, who are you, Leverson? And hey, guys, it's Josh. Well, I'm sure you'll vote for me the next time when I run in 2024.
All right. Well, that's
RIP stands for Rob Invests in Pomade.
Oh, please.
This is untrue. I will never. It's too hard to wash out.
Put LaCroix in your hair.
Yeah, rinse it out with
I feel like a little cream in my hair. A little cream.
Oh no!
Oh, I just want to point
a little crema.
Oh, something about Mary. Dunarino says something that we've discussed internally. Watching 98 King of the Ring, a watch along. We already have that on the table, and maybe a future episode potentially.
It's on the list.
One of the worst pay-per-views in history. Spectacularly bad.
All right. Well, that's our show. We'll see you next week.
Love
Please
you.
tune in. We love you.
Kisses and hugs.